Good day, my wonderful friend. It's me again. Great. One more great countryman. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Now, look at this picture right here. This is Irving WAWOE, and he is from St. Martin, the Dutch island. And listen, I talked about this young man before, but I'm gonna talk about him today. And I always say this, folks talk about Jamaica and how Jamaicans are some of the worst people in the Caribbean. But after being a eccentric blogger about crime and gang violence, a lot of these small islands, them take the cake. Let's go.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
It's Countryman again. Just I lick you with some wisdom, and I lick you with some knowledge. You gotta take inside your brain. It says, son, I've learned a lot out of reading people's faces. No matter how them are going, like them original, them fake. You gotta know when to walk and know when to run and know when to fall and know when to stand.
Viewers' discretion is advice. One more time. Viewers' discretion is advice. This youth right here, so, him run one of the biggest gang or the most dangerous. This youth right here, from doing my research from the first video, realize that him have link everywhere in the Caribbean. You understand? No limit soldier. Now, this youth, him get charged with a whole bunch of crime. And when you hear some of the things what the man do and charge it, you have to scratch your head. What was kind of interesting to me, it's the kind of money and the kind of link these guys have in the drugs game. But then I kind of put it together and I'm like, oh, so this is how it goes. And I am gonna break all of that things down for you. Now, I think about a name to this youth, Irving. And the only name where I can think of is the St. Martin Dudus. This youth right here, so, are the St. Martin Dudus. Some of the things what the man do and how him carry it out, it's alarming. Now, according to the sources out there, that when I spoke about him, I spoke about the way he took the No Limit logo and he actually turned it into a business. But his biggest business, is the cocaine business. And this guy, Irving, he had a war going on from about 2014, Him and another crew, a man, them call themselves the Blingers or the Bling Bling crew. You understand? And him are the No Limit soldier. And I was kind of like, all them youth here have so much money and have so much things going on. But then I realized that where their country is positioned, it's positioned close to places like Suriname, Venezuela, Curacao. You understand? Because right now, this dude right here, he's on trial for 11 murders amongst other things, And plus, them catch him in a Dominica. The picture that right there. Them catch him in Dominica. Him and 2 other guys. So, these guys are the gangster them from St. Martin's and those places. Them have an advantage. Well, you can call it an advantage in terms of them having lots of baby powder, cocaine, lots of movement going back and forth to Europe. You understand? Because this dude right here, when they put him in jail, he was in the Netherlands. And then they ship him back now for trial. Plus he was doing time in the Netherlands also because St. Martin is a part of the Dutch. So, big advantage. But let me show you something. Look at that picture right here. That's Miss Fleming and that's Irving girlfriend. Now, in about mid-2014, them slap her away. And it was said that it was the blingers them who did it. Now, according to the source, which is fact out here, Mr. Irving went ballistic and ordered a number of hits, which he is now going to trial for. If you look at this picture right here, you could see the timeline. And it is saying the murder timeline. And this was provided by the St. Martin's News. Big up to them. But you could see from 2014 come right down into 2015 and come right down into 2018. And then after that, Irving him lay low until him get catch in Dominica with these 2 other men. Now, prior to that, he was in prison in St. Martin. And while he was in prison, a member of the Bling gang came into the prison and attacked him viciously. Now, if y'all look at that picture right here, it said Carlos B, a feared enforcer in the Bling Bling gang, that's the other gang, was smuggled into the prison that is in St. Martin, Somebody, it's alleged that somebody smuggled him in there and he also had weapon. Now, he was the one who attacked Irving, the leader of the NLS, and they said that Carlos, all of a sudden he was transferred to a different prison and everything just kind of disappeared and there was no follow-up, there was no investigation. And after that, Mr. Irving, one told they said, got even more crazy. Now, after that, the authorities inside the prison, because this is very important, so they started tracking Irving messages that he was using on encrypted messages. And according to the authorities, they say they have messages where he was sending to do hits on other people while he was in prison. Now, there's a lot more to this story, and I could keep on going on and on and on. But what this video and this young man identified to me, it's the amount of money that these guys are making and using the money to fund proceeds in crime. And this is in the Caribbean. This is right across the Caribbean. It also shows how brave these guys are, because this young man right here, Mr. Irving, he did a shooting, a mass shooting, back in 2015 at the St. Martin's airport, where I think 2 people was dead and like 7 people get injured. He is also linked to Jamaicans in the business, because he went to Jamaica and lived in Jamaica. Now, I am not deviating from the subject, but when you look at Yo Killer, that's his picture right there, and then you look at St. Martin's Dudus, you kind of see where Yo Killer and certain man over in those islands, where they get educated by guys like Irving, who has spent tremendous money ordering hits and doing all sorts of things. St. Martin's is a very dangerous place, because a lot of people might think it's a small island, a lot of different cultures is there and stuff like that. You understand? But one thing with these guys, they deal with tremendous jump, skip, hop from island to island, and they also have endless amount of baby powder, which leads to endless amount of money, which leads to endless amount of guns and other stuff. So it is not surprising a person like Yo Killer end up the way he end up. And this guy here, Irving, he has seems to beat the odds, because they made after him a couple times and kill his girl and plus other things, stab him up in jail. But he has kind of beat the odds and he's still in jail and his trial is going on. And we're going to see which way the arms of justice drop on this one. But like I said, talking about these things, it really surprised me at the amount of activity in terms of like running an organized criminal organization. They talk about Jamaica, but I don't think Jamaica can match a person like this, like a country like St. Martin's, when you come to these kind of things. Because one thing about Jamaica has an order about it and certain respect with certain things, even as bad as it is. Whereas places like St. Martin's, you know, it's like the Wild Wild West, St. Lucia, the Wild Wild West. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. And like we say, we're going to sit back, watch this case and see what happens, which way the arms of justice. And at the same time, it is a very sad thing that the entire Caribbean has turned to gang war and violence. Listen, my name is Countryman.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.